Inside the most remote residence in Tokyo. The happy life of the 7 brothers and sisters. Susie's story begins with the male lead. Arata asked Emerson to show him how to flirt. But being ignored by your brother makes you very bitter. The body is the young master Solji Arata. There's a lot of choice, but God gave birth to Arata's cowardly nature. People often say, one day I will meet a girl. My destiny. But Arata doesn't believe in that kind of destiny. At this time, the 5 Solji sisters came in. 2 guys are based. If we help each other in the morning, we can to help ourselves. The heir too. In order from left to right. First is the shy sister Kotono. Next is the short-haired older sister Banri. In the middle is Minami, the dynamic little sister. Next up is my friend Aka. And finally, my 2 nerdy sisters. According to Seiya's statistics, 60% of men talk about bad things. So the CA says that Arata is using the horn. Tell an adult story that makes your grandfather ashamed. That's Emerson. I added more oil to the fire and it was too small. Wrong dog to bite. 2 small children CA and Seiya was thrilled when Arata was bitten by a dog. Because this is the end of the guy who looks at the 5 sisters every day. With a goat's eyes. And Arata. He also replied that, you guys, what the hell is asking your brother to look at you with those eyes? Sister Banri also sympathizes for Arata. Because I live with 5 beautiful sisters every day. Well, that's natural. But Seiya, given that it's not, it's natural at all. By having sexual desire with sisters. That, from a conservation perspective, the species is so absurd. Except for the white guy in the movie. Banri said that soon. Oka and Seiya will like that too. It makes them a little shy. Minami complimented that Arata is also quite raw form ma'am. Oh, that's my sister. I'm going to run again. Thank you, one of them is broken. Arita is a real man. But the dog's insides are also thrown away. Small Europe CA, I told him not to waste his genes. This Saturday, the whole family will go out for the birthday of the youngest Kotono. And Arata, even if you can't give an opinion, the EUCA has already closed it. The body is Chief, the guy in the house who's been riding her all the time. 5 Sungri sisters. It was so popular that there was even a fan club in the school. The boys are jealous of the 2 of you. Arata and Painter Day. Arata's pretty upset about outsiders. I can't understand the work. I have to grow up in a house. 5 sisters were born last year. Being beaten cannot be fought back, and parents don't care. The first is about Banri. First-year college students. Fame and fame. With a temperate personality with a dream of being a nurse. Aunt Sister 2 Seiya. He is currently the president of the science club. Has a cool personality that attracts a lot of fans. BAAK. It's not just good learning, the sport is also very good, and candidates for the student council president. Tomboy Minami is a tennis genius. Won a lot of tournaments early on. Finally, the youngest sister. Timid personality and small appearance. I want all 4 of you to be happy. Emerson. Joke. That if all 5 of them are not of the same blood, then this will be a tragic young love story. Romantic, but they're all sisters. So Arata's not interested. Right now, Arata. Accidentally look, I saw a beautiful girl walking around. Walking on the school grounds. Emerson. You're a coward by nature. By a misunderstanding in the past. That night, Arata tried to summon the courage. To text a friend in the morning. that you can't even talk about texting. At this time, Ayoko went to the Arata room to borrow a copy. Because they're twins. Arata advised Ayoko to dress for a little discretion. But what the hell is hidden at home? She is very fond of Arata's love story. With the girl in the morning. When I know you work with me. The committee with me. Ayoko wants to push the boat for the two of you. But Arata said that because you don't want to. It's too easy to get involved in my business. It's okay to get angry like a broom and leave right after that. And don't forget to wish. Arata never married a decent wife in his life. Meanwhile, sister, I was looking at a family photo where and did not understand why her eyes turned towards Arata. The next afternoon, Arata accidentally found out that her favorite friend had lover. That's why you don't believe in destiny. According to you, fate must be arranged from the beginning, like a sibling in the house, or a lifelong friend. Today is my youngest sister's birthday party. While everyone else is congratulating her, Arata thought about fate. Two sisters Oka and Minami suddenly quarrel. Because Minami lost an AirPod. That little borrowed from Oka, so was Oka taught a lesson. Horny voice in the room, two sisters. That they don't listen to you. That Minami said she didn't need a sister like Europe. This makes Arata angry. You think? Minami is talking nonsense because there is nothing more connected than family. Even though you are riding her head. But Arata is also the big brother in the house. A while later the father returned. So all 7 of you will raise a toast to your birthday. Kotono before the party. He wanted to tell the 7 brothers and sisters something important. That all of you are not brothers. Make Arata extremely surprised. However, the father did not explain the deep cause. Far behind the story. Because you're simply adopting people. Exactly. Minami and Clam are twins. And the rest are not blood related. He revealed this on Kotono's 15th birthday. Because he believed that they were all grown up enough to receive the truth. And if people have any questions, he will answer everything. Today is Kotono's birthday. So he wants everybody to have fun. But all 7 of you can't be happy. After accepting this shocking truth. At the party, every Shiunji sibling. They're all in a heavy mood. How can they enjoy the birthday party? We know that everyone is not of the same blood. The heaviness enveloped the surrounding air. 7 brothers and sisters, so the eldest sister served herself tea. Let your kids have their own space. After the birthday party, everyone is musing. Think about the relationships of the 7 sisters in the family. Only each. Minami is still playful and active as usual. That people can't believe. The child is still in the mood to eat. And everyone thinks that optimism. Minami's fun is inherited from dad, but Seiha, that's not. Because everyone is your adopted son. Sia knows it's not my fault. I want you to choose another time to talk. You've been hiding them all this time. So, I want to know if you're cheating. Brothers and sisters in the house or not. But in terms of physics. Then he made it clear, this is with 7 brothers and sisters, on Kotono's 15th birthday. Is perfectly reasonable. Barry was 4 years old when she moved in. But she's mostly forgotten her childhood memories. The truth is that Barry remembers something. You chose to be quiet. Just because you've had too much tonight. But I don't think this issue matters anymore. They are not all of the same blood. But even Sal lived together for 15 years. They are still brothers and sisters in the small house. Minami also made some cow tricks to reduce the tension in the room. After everyone left, Oka got out Arata. I'm thinking about something. And it's not just Arata. That before, Kotono also has a lot of things that cannot be said. Today was a terrible day for Arata. Not the seven love, but also a shocking truth. It hurts the whole head. When he went to take a shower, he saw the underwear of 5 sisters. Watch out the chrome story, the one my brother painted yesterday. That's what can happen. You feel like your father chose the time. Revealing the truth makes sense. Because ever since we've lived together, growing up, I now understand. Arata had just walked into the bathroom when she found me. He was inside, so he had to leave. That he was surprised by his brother's back as always. After helping Kotono period back, Arata told me to take a shower with warm water. To stay healthy. What a wonderful brother. Okay, feel Kotono. It's a shame to accept a shocking truth. Like this on my birthday. It's very easy to influence the exam into the BA level. Sun is the least talkative of them all. Because you don't feel anything. When you know the truth. He also teased his sister when Oka wanted to know Arata. What to think in your head? Even without a blood relationship. But they both live together. I've been twins for 16 years, so I have. It's called the twin mind. Paint advice Europe CA not to worry. By Arata. He's always been a reliable older brother. Nothing's going to change. If there's no stories like brothers getting married. And now the youngest Kotono is hugging Arata. From behind, it opens up a disturbing story between 7 siblings. Whether Arata a person who always values family? How will you face the 5 sisters? They know they are not of the same blood. 2 things about marrying a brother or sister in your home. CA must be disgusted, even if the horns are just examples. Now they're not all of the same blood. Even if we get married, it's not a problem legally. But you're still being scolded by your sister for a fight. By the thought. Brothers and sisters married in the house is extremely disgusting. The little guy also screams. So watch out for the goat brother Arata. So that it does not go crazy, even though you integrity like you 7. That's why Arata is called a goat. Because in the past, the sisters saw Arata on top of Kotono. Even if it was an accident. Of course Oka knows Arata. It's not an animal. Even my sister is excited. But you still think there's something behind it. So Sun revealed that Cotton used to like his own brother Cho, Oka. It's amazing that Arata refused because they were brothers. But the little one refused to have Arata on him. Kotono Arata told this story to Sun. But you forbid my brother from telling anyone. Because it's going to hurt Kotono more. And maybe at that young age, it's possible. Kotono misunderstood between liking and admiring his brother. But if Kotono really like Arata, in fact, maybe it won't be sound now. I have suffered again. While Kotono is hugging Arata in the bathroom. My daughter confessed that she likes you. That Arata doesn't accept nonsense like this. Kotono want to know it, Xiao. Arata. Because she looked up the marriage law. But Arata thought she had misunderstood. Between love and affection, brothers and sisters in the house. Even if you are not of the same blood, Arata. He's still Kotono's brother. So you're going to pretend you don't know anything. And what happened in the bathroom? The two of you were seen by one. That night, Barry. He also went to the room to meet father as he predicted. While Arata is contemplating at Sao Kotono, suddenly acting so strangely. You just walked into the room and saw your sister waiting for you inside. Arata's room is the smallest of all your rooms. Because when we were 10, we all played games. The drawer was split, and Olka was the one with the biggest room. But Arata, I don't know what's in my room, nerd sister. So excited to come here and explore. At this moment, Seiha suddenly pressed Arata down on the bed. It makes you panic. You asked. Arata had to keep quiet and keep his face on you. Misunderstand that Seiha is just like her. Really, Seiha do so just to check Arata's physiology. That's it, because you saw her act in the bathroom. You're going to take a shower. I saw two of you inside. I stood outside listening to Theo. As Seiha knows, Kotono had feelings for Arata. From before, but you think she's being misunderstood. Between being close to my brother, into love. And maybe after I found out my brother and I weren't the same blood. The system is Kotono. I couldn't help but confess to Arata. But this makes Seiha feel the treatment of Arata is right. The chief is in the house. If a situation like this continues, the show is worrying. That's why you decided to strike. Arata one shot. Let's see if you're really interested in your sisters. And as a result, Arata integrity as he 7. I explained the reason that Japan, the prohibition of inbreeding is a matter of custom. Custom and personal feelings are not taken into account. Scientifically speaking, the combination of genes, it's going to help create a healthier individual. So things like floating age. Turbulence is supposed to help curb that. But it wasn't right after tonight's incident. Because everyone is not of the same blood. Except for Minami, and so we can all get married. You and I are no exception. And even the pandemic relationship that makes Joe Arata. I don't know what my sister is talking about. I think I'm just telling the truth. Arata's heart rate was fine. So there's nothing to worry about. Before leaving, Seihei tells Arata that she is still Arata's sister. It is not allowed to call empty. Not at least add words. Chan and give it a little cute. Arata also understands what Seihei just conveyed. But you've lived with people like brothers. Gut for 16 years. So it can't be changed now. And earlier, in addition to checking Arata-ra's heart rate, Seihei also discovered there's nothing unusual about your brother. When you try to seduce him. I've had a long day with everything in the world. Make Arata extremely tired. When I was about to go to school, I saw two sisters. Banri and Kotono cosplay nurse looks so weird. This is Barry's intern's uniform. So she deliberately wears it to tease Arata. It makes you bored. Today the Solji brothers and sisters. It's the focus of everyone's attention when they go to school. The spring wonder. If everyone knows it's not brothers and sisters, what is the gut? In terms of family, everyone is still the same as brothers and sisters in the house. Kotono on the outside is nothing unusual. But it's going to be messy. On the surface, you all look fine. But really only, look. I know that a lot of them also have their own. At this time he accidentally met Minami at the storage place. Because she's off tennis practice today. Among your brothers and sisters, Minami is the most active. It always brings a happy atmosphere. And in the future, Minami will be a candidate for the position of athlete. Olympic makes Arata quite jealous. Minami just walked outside the schoolyard. The girls have surrounded the children. Please some photos. Makes Arata a bit overwhelming. When I first started school, Minami used to pretend to be a boy with a friend, and was transmitted by LAN. She also has some female fans. Minami was supposed to be off training today. I have to go out and go straight home, as an Arata. It's hard to understand now. Minami just opened up the story of being paralyzed. All subjects, he was very surprised. In terms of motor neuron, Minami is at the top of the country. But the record is in the brothers and sisters. Shiunji Arata decided to drag this shitty kid out to the cafe to tutor for it. However, if Arata is tired of preaching Minami, still don't understand what the fuck. Now think about the two of you. The same blood makes sense. The music in the bar. Suddenly it boomed. Minami quit her job to sing for Arata. Fuck his words. But this is exactly my sister's personality. Minami has always been active and happy. It's because of comfort like this. So small as the one that Arata. Least to worry about. Being with Minami makes you feel good. And this is an active sister. So maybe. On the way back to school, Arata accidentally saw the crush scene. Dating a lover should be too afraid to hide. Then Arata. Remind your child to study properly later. Because I've had enough fun this afternoon. Minami also wants to know who her real parents are. I will see you to ask about this. But always elegant. But Minami, I'm serious about talking about family. Tell when Arata. There is no common blood. You're just a guy at school. It's Minami. But Minami advised his brother that the name. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that 15 lives together are precious. So, Minami, I advise you not to be sad for 7 more love because of the little girl. Orca told me. Letting her hear this makes Arata extremely bitter. Small feel Arata also has a lot of good points. He loves his family, and is very responsible. What's missing? She then rubbed her head and comforted him as if right. And Arata also our figure. He asked Minami to come home to study. Immediately banned from obtaining gaming. That night, Minami returned the AirPods with OK. Give your sister an ice cream cake as a gift. Sorry for my lying attitude yesterday. OK, accept Minami's apology. Give it to the little one. This AirPods and tell it. Don't lose it next time. Then the two sisters ate cake and drank tea together. Practice BA this morning. Arata had just finished her personal hygiene and met little Kotono. And Kotono, I can't even look my brother in the face. That Arata. I thought you were still behaving normally. After the confession that day. You keep thinking without paying attention to your sister. Seiha has been standing by me ever since. And Seiha was not happy. Because Arata doesn't call her Seiha. Chris, as you said the other day. While the two of you were talking about your little Kotono. Minami suddenly runs to destroy. Small call Arata. By the new intimate name of Senior. That makes Seiha a little surprised. Because that's only for adults. Make Arata not eat chili but still spicy. When you're in school, Aka accidentally sees Arata peeping crush. And Arata got a car poking around when she knew crush. Had a boyfriend. Arata found a car very friendly at school. so there's always people around. It's far from being aggressive and grumpy at home. You don't know. I was also interested in some other girls. Like a group of friends or playing with Aoka. A girl who tried to confess to Arata, but was stopped by Aoka. Then he told me all the bad habits of Arata. Oucho sisters with flushed faces. It's more like complimenting people. Tomorrow the 7 brothers and sisters will have a sea park trip. On the occasion of Kotono's birthday, and Arata hopes that nothing will happen again. The next morning, a group of 7 brothers and sisters were in the park very early. But the park is still crowded. The 2 little ones are CA and Minami. Run out. Forgetting that. Who's the main character today? I was hungry, Barry. I decided to buy some snacks for the kids. She asked Arata to follow her to carry. But when they come back, they're all in one place. Makes you run out of words. Try calling, no one picks up the phone. So Barry decided to take Arata out for a fight. It surprised you a little. Although on the outside, they are known to everyone as 2 sisters. Then Barry, constantly showing off charming tricks to tease. Arata makes you feel like you're joking too much. But you think you can walk. Playing with a beautiful sister. This is the privilege of those who make you. Arata also found that a lot of people are paying attention to both. Even though my grandmother's personality is a bit bad. But you also have to admit that you are different from the rest of the sisters. I'm so excited to see Barry. So Arata almost fell on his face, and Barry, give your hand to Arata. Looks so cute. And then the 2 sisters played roller coaster. So Arata only knew how to ask Emerson for help. I'm hanging out with the rest of the sisters. With Banri's personality. Then Orca guesses that Arata is now being turned by you like a pinwheel. Now it's the Orcas who are the lost ones. But instead of going to Arata, an Orca, again, take this opportunity to play all the games that Kotono likes. No matter what the 2 of you like to do. The 2 sisters also spent a lot of time to find my brothers. But I still can't see the kids. Look, I was going to call the dogs a few more times, but they got caught. Barry stopped it, because she guessed that her brothers are playing very fun. Barry asked Arata to eat and eat cake. But you dare not, after going through a bunch of risky games. Barry's smile. It makes you feel right now. Your sister is a young woman. Although it's a little sad to hear my father's story. But I feel that I'm fine. And I'll ask you more questions later. I rarely see Arata ask such a gentle question, because there's so much going on after that. So you hope that brothers and sisters don't change anything. This makes Barry. I was surprised by my real brother. Has grown up. This one is still in Europe. CA, and the kids came running to me. It's grown up now. Barry understands that you're still students. It's normal to worry. So far, everyone has loved each other. As an older sister, Banri will become a fulcrum for everyone. I hope Arata. Don't worry too far. In the past it was only you. Barry is always standing out for Arata. Every time you're being bullied by 3 Kiafish. It makes you feel like you've always been a sister. Precious so far. At this moment, 2 glasses of water suddenly fell towards the Barry, so Arata covered her body for you 4. Banri blames him for not doing that. Because this stain will be very difficult to wash. You also have to protect your sister. as a younger brother. Makes her very emotional. Now the two are unwittingly reunited. With 5 leopards, I was hanging out, so I decided to join in. Then you asked. Arata held my hand, but he couldn't agree. Barry took the initiative to grab the Arata by. Because they are 2 sisters. The night is finally falling, but the leopard group still has the power. After a day of hanging out, Arata feels tired in person, so you're with Senna and Kotono. Has left the personal toilet. Soon after, when Kotono wasn't here. Seiha told the story Kotono embraced Arata. In the bathroom with the other 4 sisters. But Seiha told everyone not to worry. Because I checked and saw how it worked. Arata is correct. An exemplary brother. More, you don't react to the sisters in the house. And when you know the story, Seiha climbing people Arata just to check. Cho-oka can't swallow this truth. The trouble here starts with Kotono. So Seiha, I want to share with people how to solve it. As beautiful as possible. In front of everyone will hide this Kotono. Because letting them know will make things worse. More than that. Anaka also revealed the game room. In the past, it was also the Kotono that Ra and Arata. Just to hide Cho Kotono. That's why it's a car. And Seiha speculates that maybe you're. I'm not the same blood that blew up. Up the inner feelings of Kotono. You were Banri. Still don't believe that Kotono is really serious. Before that, Barry, I talked to my dad about my resume. And knowing that almost everyone is an orphan. I also advise people not to worry too much. Because Arata has absolutely nothing to do with Kotono. At this time, Arata's group also returned. So we decided to go to the ghost house. Without even knowing that Orca was having a different thought. Mention of the souvenir shop in the park is. Minami and Seiha are on fire again. To go buy your favorite items. Kotono looks pretty normal at the moment. Make Arata feel like everything is fine. Arata herself. At first it was also glad to know we're not all of the same blood. When I say this, I'm afraid your feelings will be broken. Hiding the truth for over 15 years. Probably not easy for you. But Arata wants you to rest assured. Because everyone's relationship is going so well. And nothing will change. Between brothers and sisters in the house. Right now, the sound of fireworks suddenly marked another. Another meaningful trip of all 7 brothers and sisters. Seoul while waiting for people to buy souvenirs. Arata accidentally sees a crush-like girl. So it's a little bit of a shock and it's kind of small. CA detect out. When you two are alone together. Aka wants to talk to Arata in private. Just 3 days ago. The two are still twins. But Arata thinks they're twins. As a child, OK and Arata. To have a shared mind. They look like twins. Even playing in prison. They've also matched 10 times in a row. So people often say it's true that twins are different. In that atmosphere of nostalgia. Suddenly there are 3, I like you. Silently out of the mouth, OK. That makes Arata very surprised. Because what is she saying? Episode 4 came back a few days ago. Arata is talking to her brother. It was announced that yesterday it officially called Crush. By rib name. That when the 2 brothers. I know I'm not of the same blood. They're just close men and women. And you also confessed to Arata. That told the story between Arata and Kotono with a lot of mouths. Oka knows how to make you extremely worried. But when you know, Orca is also very confident. Arata, you know the sun is. If the boys in the class knew, then Arata would be the guy inside a comm room, living with 5 sisters, but not up to 400. Back to the present, Orca explained to Arata. She likes you very much, because you solved your love affair in Kotono. Just like a big brother. Arata almost lost his mind when he misunderstood what Orca meant. But the child behaves like that. The tsundere personality. For so long. You can't believe CA said the same thing. Maybe small, I was also worried about my brothers and sisters' relationship. We know that everyone is not of the same blood. And Act didn't know that. He was considered a twin to me. I remember saying I like you. The next morning during Arata. He was working out when he caught a tennis prodigy. Minami is normally small and will practice later. But I woke up early today, so he enlisted a small compliment to the doc. Since childhood, it's been you. So, Arata, get daddy trained for harsh exercises. And now if you don't practice, one day I will feel very anxious. Feet Arata. I also know that it's only me. Minami didn't miss a session. I admire my sister very much, because that's how it works. At the souvenir shop last night, Minami discovered that Orca and Arata had disappeared. I decided to find both. And then she saw that Orca liked Arata. The little girl quietly went home, without hearing the story afterwards. Now ask Arata if she likes you. It's hard to say. If you both really like each other, then something will happen. Living under the same roof. There are so many questions in my head. Minami has practiced the wrong posture during training. Finally, little asked Arata. Something happened between you and your sister. It makes you very difficult to understand. Arata doesn't understand what it means. Minami is great, but you and Orca fight a lot. It should make you nervous. It's also normal. This makes Minami feel very confused. Small permission to Arata. Break training first because nothing happened between the two of you. But apparently she heard the word like from Orca's own mouth. Towards Arata. You've been thinking a lot about the hidden question. Minami's idea. But you're just worried. He will have his own thoughts about the relationship. Between brothers and sisters, I can't focus the tournament. At the right time, Arata. When I opened the bathroom door, I found my sister sitting there. I'm changing inside. Seiha very rarely watch the rom-com. But when the characters, if they overreact, most of them will exaggerate it up. Especially in terms of sex that makes Arata run out of her mother's words. According to Seiha, in this situation, look, just tell your precious sister you forgot to lock the door. But she kept taking it off. If the body that Arata looked at, it makes you excited after 17 years. Seiha sorry. But Arata didn't think much because Seiha. I don't care about blood. And while Seiha was taking a shower, Arata found out that she was still wearing a ring. It's a little loose, but it's a memento, Mom. Seiha left it, so you have to preserve it carefully. 2 sisters in the house. But I have no memory of this family. After taking a shower, Barry came to the Arata room. Makes you a little surprised. After learning that everyone is not of the same blood, you just keep coming. The reason, Barry. I'm here to visit my dear brother's room. And when I checked my brother's computer, Barry, I read an email from the adult movie website. Arata makes you very ashamed. This makes Arata even more so. It's harder to understand why Barry's here. Because the last time she came into your room. About 2 years ago. But Banri was also reassured. In part because it shows you how mature you are. Arata at the age of 17. Banri then asked Arata out on a date. It makes you very surprised. In particular, the two sisters were dating at the phone store. But Barry suddenly asked Arata again. Dinner and overnight at a luxury hotel. Then wait for your next life. This life. Arata also understands that this sister represents the next generation. Jens was being polite, so he didn't advise her either. By the way, Arata also changed her phone today. You just picked up your phone for a few seconds, Barry. Felt Arata. That's a determined guy. Usually, boys are in their prime. You have to be confused anyway. A little bit of color or design, but Arata doesn't care. Banri, explain more. Phone and phone are pretty much the same. Because they're both inseparable. And it's all about each person's own standards. Makes you feel safe. But if I were you, I'd be more interested in looks. Just the kind of practical person. The staff found the two sisters chatting quite happily. I thought you two were lovers. Barry won't let Arata explain. She hugged him and made him cry. Barry just wants them both to pretend to be lovers. For a discount only. But Arata doesn't want people to misunderstand the relationship of the two sisters. At this very moment, both of you are walking past an ice cream parlor. So, Barry has enlisted Arata to eat. For Arata, Barry is a mature person. Most of the 5 sisters. But sometimes, Barry had a moment of innocence as a child. Banri tried to buy more ice cream for the kids, but was attacked by Arata. It stopped because it melts anyway. It reminded the two of them of the fight. Ice cream as a child. Minami ate Kotono's ice cream. But the child did not dare to say that his. Ulka rushed into a fight with Minami. And whenever there's something sad, Shitono will hide in the closet like a ghost. Barry is also very afraid of ghosts. Just mention the devil. It's just that she's fluttering again. Even though it's morning in the middle of the day. If now, the two sisters talked about their fights. It won't be over until tomorrow morning, so let it go. But for Banri, all the memories are my treasure. Banri, ask if Arata has been busy lately. Because your face looks so unsightly. But that face is your normal time. Because my sister, Banri wanted to know his brother's troubles. If you have any concerns, I hope Arata finds you. That afternoon, Kotono. I'm looking at pictures of my brothers and sisters going out. And Barry. Sending him out for ice cream. Arata on group chat general. Arata was with Barry. She decided she would learn to forget her sadness. At this point, Barry got the message, so I need your permission. Arata left first because he was busy. Before Barry left, Arata asked if you didn't have anyone else to date. Because people usually just go on a date with a lover. This made Barry stand for 5 seconds. You're cursing Arata so bad. But because I'm handsome, I forgive you. And when he left, everyone around him admired him. Your beautiful appearance. After leaving, Barry called Cho Minami to inform her that there is nothing unusual about Arata. Turns out Minami asked Barry. Investigation of Orka's relationship. And Arata. And Barry didn't feel like Arata was anything out of the ordinary. That's why Minami knew that she had heard wrong. Because the two brothers showed up. Love with each other. It's not easy to get through so quickly. Minami also answered Barry. I sent it to the wrong group chat. You have to hurry to delete it. Little's actions attracted Orca's attention. But Orca didn't think much. Make her confident that she is fast, so no one can see it. But this cub doesn't know that. Cotton. I'm currently reviewing Arata's photo on the group chat. And discovered Minami's message. Send it to Banri. Year in the family dinner. Arata suddenly noticed Seiha. Because lately you've been feeling Seiha often. Think of something very serious. After eating, Arata caught Seiha again. With a passionate face, it's like thinking about something. So you really want to. If there is anything disturbing, you can talk. With Arata because you're my brother anyway. So congratulations on being the lucky one. Seiha chose to be the player of carpeting game. You put it wrong in the forest. Seiha admitted that the visit to the room. Arata had a little excitement before. Makes you quite surprised. Because if you keep that vague feeling first, the exam is dangerous. And if this feeling is beyond the sisterhood, Seiha will feel very confused. I just want to check to make it clear. Arata noticed the idea of Seiha. She can still like me. So you don't even want to play this shit. However, Arata, I can't refuse your invitation. Because last semester, it's this kind sister who tutors Arata. Increase the 30 points. But Arata still managed to circumvent the law that made Cho Seiha. I feel like you're an insolent brother. So she also managed to stay close to Arata. It makes him extremely, even though the law does not prohibit it. And with Seiha, then your feelings will start to show. Accidentally touching each other. That made her very interested. Keep it underground. Turns out he's the bravest kid in the house. After a while of fun, both are about to fall into the big carbon. But Arata persisted in trying to circumvent the law. Seiha will never let you do that. So you'll be the one to approach me. This makes Seiha accidentally creating a position that invites you. So Arata was going to surrender. If you lose here, you won't admit it. I'm excited too. Or why now? Turn to turn, Arata enters the blue box below Seiha. And he accidentally touched something of her. So it's very confusing. You can't believe this action will make you. Seiha is very happy. Then Seiha started explaining. When happy to win, the brain releases dopamine. If you want to do something, you will reveal it. I have oxytocin, so I want to know. More dopamine or oxytocin? More, even though there is no clear distinction. But I think it's borderline it's something that's built on emotions. Confusion has no certainty. She went on to explain a bunch. It's about love and destiny. But I feel like I'm pretty young. Talk about love-making, Arata. It's very confusing. You were my sister for 16 years. But it's gone. Talk about love and intelligence with yourself. Because I'm so tired. I fed my brother 2 balls. It makes it very spicy. Because you can fall on both sides. But also thanks to Arata. That the verification has been completed that there is no abnormality except movement. The usual physical. Although at first Arata claimed that there was no. Seiha wants to be sure of everything. Because she's the head of the science club. But after Seiha left Arata, just got a breath of relief. We lived together for 16 years. But you don't know what word to use to describe your sister. Talk about sex all the time. All over the head. However, Arata, I can't go to the restroom because it's small. She asked him out right after. Then they both returned to the room. Anoka, I have been playing for about 30 hours this week. It's been a long time since you two played games together. But it's a little strange asking you to play at night like this. Arata was worried that he would be punched in the mouth. But now you're more worried about the previous day's story. I don't know when this kid started playing games. After entering the game, Arata was knocked out by Europe CA for 5 lobes in the head. And he felt like he was having fun. When you win, must have practiced a lot. It looks very normal. But my performance at school was excellent. There are also a lot of bad guys in the class. Small, unfortunately. They don't know the true nature of this fish. And every time you win, Aoka. Laughing looks so cute. You can't make a small mess of yourself like this. That's Arata. To start seriously making small Cho lose constantly. So we started an outside battle. Losing you too much. But Arata fought back. It puts both of you in a situation. Rom-com in legend. This makes Cho Arata afraid that Orca will go mad. Get up as usual and hit yourself. But surprisingly, Orca didn't overreact. But I praise Arata for being a man. It's hard to understand. But you don't know that. Orca left with a flushed face by Arata. Suddenly look like brother. About Arata, you still don't understand what she meant. As a child, Arata was still in battle. But now you've resisted. So small that you are right to go from a child to a man. If you have other ideas, why? So Arata decided to take her ass to bed. I don't need to think anymore, my headache. So we've identified 2 pairs of ships. Strongest at the moment. And after Arata left Kotono, I walked out with a nervous look. Go through a normal day of activity. Of the Suzy siblings. That evening Arata called into the room to ask if any of the 5 sisters have exploded lately. And he wanted to know if Arata had that AI. Meanwhile, the 5 sisters are watching the movie. And see the guy in the movie. I'm confessing to the girl with words. Tell me to be your AI. Sister Barry. Compliment is a wild confession. That's great on the bridge. But Orca thinks it's too rural. And Seiha explains it scientifically. But both Orca and Chie agree that the answer. Be that AI of yours that looks so rustic. It's like a double entendre. However, Minami, I think what's important is not AI, it's AI. It's who says what's important. It made all 4 sisters recognize this hyperactive child. Sometimes there are very reasonable statements. And this reminds the sisters of him. Emerson because he's the only one of them all. More than a lover. Even though the first one is love. The love of it. Right now Kotono. Suddenly, to run to his sisters and declare. I like you, Arata. It surprised all 4. This is clear as day. But Kotono. I know I like him as a person. One man and all of you are the enemy. I know that everyone is not my brother. The child was very happy. Because you can be human. I love Arata and most importantly I can marry him. Arata also told his father that he didn't have AI. He said he married his mother because she was beautiful. You looked very weak at the time. Loving someone like that is a blessing. He reminded Arata of the promise in room 8. Then he promised us all. Watch when you grow up. I thought it was the entrance to Smile as World. Arata admires your father. That he chose this moment to reveal the truth. There's definitely something to it. Even though the truth is hard to accept, but Arata is still proud to be Shiunji-ke's chief. So even if there's a sow, you also make this family happy. After Arata left, he felt that his choice of Arata, it was absolutely the right decision. And the baby that his wife is holding in the picture, this is Barry's older sister. The story moves to a future perspective. One who sent a letter to his brothers and sisters. Ask them what they're doing. Where in the garden? A little boy with bunny hair being served by his sister. The nurse and the baby are Arata's daughters. It's called Chihiro. It's also the name of your adoptive mother. And Arata's wife showed up soon after. One of the 5 sisters. It's a little small Chihiro. Has braid hair and has a very playful personality. Plus the signature cold-resistant stand. Maybe it's Chihiro. Episode 6 the next morning. While Arata's older brother is exercising. The Solji sisters. Everyone is in a different mood. Because everyone can't believe you. Kotono, originally shy, dare to declare in front of the sisters that they want to marry Arata. And they're all rivals. There's going to be an important match, Minami. I decided to ignore everything and focus on the game. She just walked out of the house. I accidentally met my brother Arata. To be very confused. Arata reminded Minami. That you've been feeling small lately. I've been acting very unusual. There is an important tournament coming up. So Arata expect Minami. If anything bothers you, you can tell me. However, Minami still claims to be healthy. Make Arata even more suspicious. Because nothing is a sentence. Your mouth is in trouble. Inside the house. Barry's busy feeding the dogs right now. She reminded him that eating too much will make him fat. And it's also hiding from Arata. Just in time for Arata to run home. Today, Barry. I woke up early because there was something to look up in college. But by the Veo, he kept asking for dry meat, so Barry had to stay and feed him. This makes Arata very displeased, because this dog dares to hide from exercise to eat clumsily. So Barry's going to reduce his diet. They naturally lose their diet. He was angry and bit. Young Arata. The paint also appeared soon after to remind Banri. You're late, but you can't save it. My poor brother. At school, Minami is training hard for the national tournament. So the members of the club. You can see the tension on the face of the small. And being so preoccupied with Kotono wanting to marry Arata. That Minami missed the ball and injured his leg slightly. However, in the eyes of their peers, then Minami's performance, it's still amazing. If in the yard, Minami, no matter how serious you are, it's ridiculous to be out there. To relieve stress, Minami asked now. Senpai playing grilled cheese. After a while of fun, Minami is the winner. After the national tournament is over, Minami will officially graduate from the club. So small thank you, Senpai, for taking care of it in the past. In the eyes of now, Minami is still as insolent as she was in middle school. But small is more effortful than any AI. And this is also the first time I met a junior that you can congratulate for their success. I also have a feeling that this year, Minami will bring the championship back to school. For Minami, now. Senpai is a very active senior. But then small. I know my sister is not moving forward. Send to university. It means now I'm going to have to quit tennis after a long time. This makes people think that now I'm just sucking Minami's win. But small, I thought I was the one getting help. Yours is right. Because she was the one who helped. Minami loves tennis back. Now that's why this game is called grilled cheese. Because it's Tay's favorite food. Tennis legend Roger Federer. I remember the days I spent with Now. In the club. Minami, determined to take home the championship in the national championship. To give to her. Minami was practicing in her room that night when Arata. He suddenly appeared with a face behind him. Because next week it's the national tournament. So Arata just wanted. Training for your sister makes Minami the whole soul. Arata wants to train Minami. That's because you knew about the injury. But Minami still refused to fly. So you tell the story. The maid told me. I saw a little scene where I was secretly wrapped in ice in the bathroom. So Arata can sort of guess why. Minami has been acting strangely lately. But that's a little different. Because the child is bothered. Kotono's sister story. And the fact that Arata's a coach. It's actually just a joke. Come back that evening. After making a declaration of war against the sisters, Kotono, leaving without a word. Minami cures for the words of Kotono. Influenced by language movies. However, say her. Let's say this is a thing. Can't be taken lightly. More, this comes from the mouth of a child. Shy as Kotono Okaka. He said nothing but small. Who also understands the problem that Kotono are encountered through contact with Arata. Back to the present. Arata is helping Minami to recover from her injury. But small, I think I'm completely wrong. As a child, Arata also used to lose muscle for Minami. But my body is different now than it was back then. I'm a sports kid among the sisters. But the one with the whitest skin of all. Looking closely, Arata also saw that she was very pretty. Everyone in the class is a fan. Minami hasn't told you what she saw either. Injury to the legs. Because the team is small. It set a lot of expectations. So it's hard to talk. Arata asks her sister not to try too hard or she will die. But Little refused, because she is very loving. Tennis and this tournament is very important for children. More than Minami. Want to win? Go back to someone very important. Make Arata. Everyone understands Minami's situation. Right now. I hope my brother doesn't have to worry too much. Because it's not a serious injury. Taking a few breaks is healthy. After helping my sister practice, Arata was also helped by Minami. And while helping him to relax, 2 of his bullets. Minami accidentally touched Arata's back. Makes you embarrassed for Minami's part. Because at that early age he didn't realize it. What did I just do with my brother? But this makes Arata. I feel very comfortable about Minami. Because after knowing the truth, that people are not brothers. She is a small girl as always. After training is done, Arata accidentally meets little sister Kotono. The last time the two met. That was the day in the bathroom. Kotono's shy appearance makes Arata very nervous. At the amusement park, there is nothing strange about eating rice. But lately the child is suddenly quiet. unusually quiet. When Arata told Kotono, "Take care of your health," the little one suddenly spoke up. "I asked my brother if he was with Minami. Right? And did you feel anything strange about Minami?" Make Arata. "It's very difficult to say, because you're afraid that maybe." Kotono also noticed Minami's injury. "So you lied?" "Is nothing but not knowing that." Kotono is understanding from an emotional point of view. Until Arata asked again, and Kotono took the excuse of going to bed to escape quickly. Today is the day of the second round. National tennis tournament, where Solji's sister Minami is involved. It makes people admire very much that they don't know. "Minami, how hard I had to train for today." If someone is jealous, someone is jealous. As a child, Minami was hated by her classmates and talked badly about everywhere. It makes kids hate tennis. But thanks to now, Minami has gradually found the joy of playing tennis again. Therefore, the child must be determined to achieve the position champion. I can only repay her this way. After a hard day of competition, Minami has entered the final. It's very admirable. But only the captain now is to realize Minami's abnormality, because she's competing with a painful leg. That night, Minami still gets her brother Arata help with training, and it seems that Little has been introduced for a trauma recovery specialist. "So, Minami, thank you, brother, for helping me in the past. To help my sister feel better, Arata, I had to study a lot of books. Today is the final match day." Arata had just finished training and hit him in the eye. "My grandmother is having breakfast in underwear, but Barry thinks they're all sisters." Past days, Banri also knows about Arata training Cho Minami. "I also want to be trained by my brother." Today was the day Minami played the final. But Seiha doesn't feel small. Arata thought she was leaving early, but Seiha discovered Minami's shoes and racket. They're leaving it at home. 8 and not only Seiha, and all the brothers and sisters in the family didn't meet Minami this morning. Episode 7, then people were running around looking for. "But I can't see Minami. Turns out she's out of the convenience store." Arata immediately reproached me. "It advises you not to worry, because only the cheerleaders have to come early. However, everyone, you can see Minami's abnormality through words. And Arata, let's say it has something to do with the leg injury." So he went to Minami's room to check on the situation. "I see you are eating and drinking water as if it were right. Even though it's about time to play. It's about the captain. He discovered the wound. Minami after the semi-final. So the coach put the substitutes in. Just the day before, Minami is preparing for the match. She wants to bring her victory back. But now, Minami only knows, laugh and leave it to your teammates. That's it, Arata. I only know how to hold hands in front of my brother's optimism. Does the child really accept this? Then even you don't know. Minami's optimistic love for life now. Make Arata quite lost. But to think about it, it's very contradictory with what she said when she was training with you. Then Arata was lumbering into the talk room. "You also heard about Minami's injury, and want to ask more about the situation from the Arata side. Minami looks optimistic. More fun than any eye in the house. But he's the one who's paying the most attention. Because this morning is rough. I saw Minami with my own eyes. I cried when I knew I was out of the main squad. Always have fun. Let others not worry. He was the most hurt person in the house. After knowing the story, Arata rushed into Minami's room. Fortunately, she wiped her tears in a hurry. Oka also prepared a car for Sister Banri. It can carry all the family members. Go to the final with Minami. Back the previous afternoon, the coach eliminated Minami. Get out of the squad when you know you're injured. But Minami won't accept now. Senpai will retire after this tournament. Thank you for Minami's kindness. She has a bright future behind her. Actually, even Arata. I don't know if Miami should play. So you want her to promise that if she sees danger, then give up. On the way to the arena, we were in a traffic jam, and in the meantime the school team. Minami is losing face. Forced Arata. I have to think of a way to get her to her in time. Right now, Kotono. I see rental bikes on the side of the road. However, to be hired will peddle public. You need to have an account. Fortunately, Seiha. Renting a public bicycle to read. So Arata decided to take Minami by bicycle. Meanwhile, in the female doubles content, the school lost by a score of 2. On the move, Minami suddenly asked Arata, "Why do I try? Because I came like that." You don't answer because you're out of breath. Then, Arata told Minami about Mother's Day. There was only one small message. Is to show optimism. Make Arata think. It was my mother who made my brothers and sisters closer. And whether it's now or in the past, Minami, he remains an indispensable member of the family. From baby to big. Whenever something is difficult, Minami always has a smile on her lips. Day by day, Minami always does her best to train. Without being tired. Look at that look. Arata feels that Minami is the genius of effort. It's just like my grandfather played badminton. So Arata hopes that Minami's efforts will be rewarded. So, Arata, if you want to be small, promise not to try so that this brother doesn't regret it. I look at my brother S back struggling. Minami happily agreed to Arata's request. Meanwhile, in the female singles content, now excellent, win against the rival school. To get the spin ratio back to balance. And before the decisive match takes place, Minami was on the field in time. Even if the child can't speak, Arata, get on your knees for training. Let my sister compete. You know this shouldn't be. But before that, Minami also promised not to try too hard. And you also promised no more trouble for the whole team. Because for my sister, this game is as important as your future. Minami also asked you to allow me to compete. And before the earnest looks of Arata, just like Minami, now and the whole team is super excited. And as a captain, she stood out and asked permission to coach Cho Minami. Competing against Minami's determination, the coach also agreed. This time Minami, he also entered the final match. Female menu 2. And the rest of my brothers and sisters be there in time for the game. The match begins. Minami's parody of Sweat, showing the little tension on the field. However, thanks to the support of the other brothers and sisters in the audience, Minami Station has regained the self-confidence of a genius. After the opponent's first shot, Minami excellently scored the first point. You can play on the field today. It's all because of my brother and his teammates. We need to bring victory back to the whole team. The boy gave a very dangerous blow. that the competition is not the right kind. Minami, it's been hard to resist, leading to a re-injury. But because Minami promised Arate won't try too hard with an injured leg. In the end, he suffered 7 defeats in the battle. And after the match, Minami apologizes to everyone for his selfishness. If you let the substitutes compete, they might win. Assume that you have been beaten or approached. It's also worth it. But I can't believe it. But thank you little for everything. Without Minami's excellence, you will not be able to enter the final. From Minami. Always wanted to try the field. Small things always make the team happy. Now hope that this game will not affect the future. Minami because she gave her sister. I can see my own dreams. And now's meaningful thanks made Cho Minami. Can't hold it, my happy optimism every day. The girls in the house are still waiting in the car. Minami is back. No one wants to be alone. Even if Minami has 7 defeats, then people will always be there and make bread. Meat for Minami. After stressful matches. Meanwhile, Arata is walking around the yard looking for Minami. And she's sitting in the middle of the wooden chairs. Minami apologized to her brother for Arata. Tried to be like that, but Small still can't win. More people in the club. I thank you even if I can't do anything. Instead, Minami wants everyone to blame her. This will make Minami feel better. She feels like a poor little sister. And made my brother 7. But Minami also thanks Arata. And everyone, because if you stay at home, you'll regret it. Even if the results are not as expected, it's not exactly a regret. As usual, she still keeps her lost look. That way no one has to worry. However, Arata knew Minami was an introvert. So he suddenly hugged her. Arata asked Minami not to lie in front of you and cry if you're sad. So she also expressed all her feelings to him. Arata that. At Sao I trained day and night and still received 7 defeats. If you win the world championship, will people forgive themselves? And this is also the first time that Arata, I see the real you of my sister. Behind the fake smiles on her lips. Episode 8. Episode 8. After returning home, Minami remembers what her brother did for her. All the time. There's an inexpressible feeling in my heart. While everyone is together. Talk about Minami's match. I think if it wasn't for the judge. Maybe our Minami is already the champion. But Arata doesn't really care about the results. Because what you care about is whether Minami accepts it or not. And your words make it small occur. I feel like a young man. So he invited Minami to his side. Even if you get the results with RSL. Because the National Intercollegiate Tournament is wrong. Failing is normal. I admit that I am very young. In the first place, the injury is. It's my fault and I'm personally quite satisfied. Make Europe CA extremely spicy. Arata remind Minami. Warm up to keep your body from catching a cold. If you look at a face like this, it's okay. Not accepting the outcome of the match. Small decided, recreate that ball with an orange. It makes me cry. I thought my boss wanted to play football with me. Say her feel okay today. Something very hyperactive but Small jumps up in denial. Accidentally made the orange fly towards Minami. Fortunately Arata was reflexive. just in time to catch the orange flying towards you. This is done for Minami. Remember what Arata I have done for myself in the past. And most of all, it's a favorite quote from Sister Oka and Sister Kotono. In a moment, my son thought maybe that could happen too. That evening, Kotono. I remember my time with Arata. Recently, Aoka. She knocked on the door because she had something to tell her. This time, Minami. I'm wondering what's going on. That it could happen or not. Just in time for Arata to pass by, make the mink's soul small. After entering your child's room, CA loves to explore the objects inside. Makes Kotono quite confused. So what are you talking about? And Orca was straight. That's Kotono who said she wanted to marry Arata. At that moment, Orca felt small, as if he was being cornered. I don't think it was just an impulsive moment. If Kotono is serious, we need to talk clearly. Even if you are my sister. So if there's anything awkward, just say it. Kotono said that she knew about UA. Kasez likes him Arata through group chat. Family then make Choaka surprise like a chess fish. Outside, Kotono, Ra, Minami and Banri also know this. I can see that both of you are having fun playing the game. And they're holding hands. They look like a couple. I thought there was no AI in the room. Little unexpected, Kotono is hiding in the closet thinking. That's why Kotono feels cornered. He said he wanted to marry Arata. And they're all rivals. Oka explained that what happened at the game park was a misunderstanding. That's because she made it clear to Arata. What happened in the game room was an accident. And Oka didn't say anything intimate to Arata. All of Oka's words made Kotono extremely agitated. Because they're just brothers and Oka doesn't like Arata. And standing in front of her children's glittering eyes, Oka. You have to be reluctant to let go. Make her happy on the face. But after leaving the room, Oka remembered Arata's smile. If I say I don't like it, I will. A few days later, Barry asked Seiha and Oka to do something. Both of you are quite busy. The rest of the kids are in the library. So, Barry, have to ask. And brother Arata just got back from school. Then Banri led Arata. Go to the university I'm studying at. It's pitch black outside right now. You can't believe you have to hide. To break in. At night like this, Barry's afraid to go in alone. You can't even ask your friends. Because they all have schedules. The reason Barry had to break into the school was because he forgot something. Arata also somewhat understands how you feel. Go alone at night. Most of the hospitals are not afraid of ghosts. And Barry is a coward. Despite his fear of ghosts, Barry chose to study medicine. Makes Arata quite confusing. But you also have your own reasons. The wind outside is getting stronger. Arata and Barry. Extremely scared, Barry was afraid that some ghost would take them away. And Arata is afraid that his arm will be cool. Away for free by your grandmother's orchard. 2 words: integrity. Arata forever boring. And then the atmosphere became very quiet. Barry wants him to say or sing something. Have fun, let me be less afraid. After this time, Barry. I promise I'll never forget anything again. Right now, Arata. Suddenly Barry shut her mouth and hid in the corner. It makes you very confused. Turned out to be Arata. I heard the guard patrolling the night. That's how you manage to save the sisters. A losing goal is seen. But come to think of it, Banri's a student at this school. Even if you get caught here to pick things up, it's okay. Why do you have to hide? Because forever thinking so much that Arata. I forgot the two sisters are in a difficult situation. Sorry about that, Barry, right after that. Didn't know that behind the hair. It's a flushed face. As a child, both slaves, it's normal to joke around like that. But it's different now. Barry, she became thinner and her body became softer. Then both sisters continued. I went to Barry's club room. This place is at the end of the hallway. You can turn on the power without the security guard noticing. Usually the club room will be a place to play. But with the medical industry, it's very clean and tidy. The thing that Barry forgot was a doll. You're doing bad. It was meant to be done, but a lot of things happened. As well as many exercises that I forgot about. When I first came to this school, once Barry went to visit the training area later, and there's a lot of kids in the ward that have to lie down. The institute very long has the kids' fun hentai 8. But there are also children who look very lonely. And there are people who are not parents or nurses. But it doesn't discriminate against you. It's the people in the volunteer club. Banri, so the club room. This is where the volunteer club is. Make those toys. After the tour, Barry came here to ask you. And then I found out they're visiting pediatrics. In different hospitals. You should decide to join now. And the doll you're making. This time it is for the children that we visit. Tomorrow, if a child is missing, a child will be sad. She also revealed why she went to nursing school. I am a little older than you. I usually visit my mother with my father. Every time I visit Barry, I find you very lonely. So she used to hide in a corner and cry. But thanks to that, Barry, I also met good nurses who came to comfort me. Initially, Banri was admiring the image of her, that nurse, and decided to go to nursing school. So this is the first step on the road. Her dream, Arata. I wish I could have told you from the beginning. It could have been easier. Banri also apologized to my brother for being so afraid. So you don't have a chance to tell you. But it's also good. It's a soft feeling when you get your hands on it. It makes him embarrassed. You leave your grandmother alone. The next morning, Barry gave them to the children. The same time, Orca noticed a video of Mount Fuji online. After stressful school hours. Today is the day to pay the exam in class of Europe CA. The kids in the class admire her. Because everything small is good, and he's the next candidate for president. Student council. But they didn't know this test. Only gets a D. After going back to school, Orca has packed his bags for Zamanashi. That makes Arata very surprised. Today is Saturday, and Monday is a holiday. So it's understandable that Orca chooses to travel. Maybe she wants to go somewhere alone. A lot has happened lately. Every activity of the brothers and sisters in the house. It's very normal this holiday. However, Arata did not expect that after 3 days of vacation, on the first day of school, CA has not returned.